Chains aren't as tight on surrendered hands. Grace and peace, everybody. Welcome to Sabbath School Study Group. My name is Chris Bailey. I'm excited. It's a new series. We're in the book of Colossians and in the book of Philippians. In fact, we're actually on the road in a new place here in Lubbock, Texas, on the campus of Texas Tech University. We're going into the story of Paul and into his testimony, but more importantly, to the message. That was the messenger, but the message of the gospel. I'm excited about it. Before we get into it, I want to thank you for watching. Do us a favor. Make sure you like this video. And new thing for this year, make sure you're watching the video until the end. That's what allows it to get found by other people. And of course, subscribe to the channel. And if you want us to come to your church, school, or group, all you have to do is send us an email. And that email address is contact@changeministry.org. Let's go. Paul in chains is where we begin in the series. And we find him in the last place you probably want to be, and that is to be incarcerated. But it's interesting to note that his incarceration was at the intent of God. But in between his incarceration and God's intent, it required his surrender. The Bible says in Philippians chapter 1 and verse number 20, according to my earnest expectation and my hope that in nothing I shall be ashamed, but with all boldness, as always, so now also Christ shall be magnified in my body, whether it be by life or by death. Paul was surrendered. And because of his surrender, those chains weren't as tight. His circumstances weren't as constricted. So instead of looking at it as a limitation, he sees this circumstance as an opportunity. He surrendered to that. He's resting in that. One more verse to see his mindset. It's there in Colossians. Over here in Colossians, it says, Paul, an apostle of Jesus Christ, by the will of God, and Timotheus, our brother, by the will of God. That's the key word in that verse. Paul has surrendered himself to God's will. And because of that, things weren't as bad in his mind and in his heart as they actually were. So Paul wasn't being constricted, but he was convicted that no matter what, he was going to trust the God who loves him so much that he gave his only begotten son. Finally, here in Philippians again, Paul says, for I am in a strait betwixt two, having a desire to depart and to be with Christ, which is far better. Nevertheless, to abide in the flesh is more needful for you. Nevertheless, that's what we want to be in our life today. You might be on the top of a mountain right now. You might be in a valley. But when you can say nevertheless, what you're saying is no matter what, like Job, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Why would he do that? Why would Job say that? Why would Paul or Timothy or anybody being tested say that? It's because they would know that they are in, and we are in, the unbreakable agape love of God. Those hands of Christ are extended to us no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing. The only difference is, are we surrendering to that love? Paul does. Because of his surrender, we can learn the plan and the promise of salvation.